It's alto sax review time.
Today we are going to be looking at the YouTube saxophone. No, this isn't a chocolate bar or some kind of drink product. This is an instrument line put out by one of the largest saxophone YouTubers. One of the largest YouTuber. Better Sax is a YouTube channel run by Jay Metcalf. I was even lucky enough to talk to Jay himself.
So this is Jay Metcalf. Let's say I'm at home and I'm just about to unbox the Classic for the first time, getting ready for the video. What should I know?
Here's what I've been talking about. Usually people try the Classic and they're like, how can this be that price?
Yeah.
Because it's so good. We have this idea in our head now. One thing is more expensive, it must be better. I figured out that we can make a really great saxophone and price it lower.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's do that because I want more people to play the saxophone. So that's what you should know.
Yeah.
Forget about the price and let's understand that it is possible to have something cost less and still be better than the thing that costs more.
Yeah, sure.
What I'm going to be testing today is whether his saxophone can hold up to Amazon's cheapest saxophone.
Cost less and still be better than the thing that costs more.
Here's my cheapo Amazon saxophone. Notice the beautiful purple color. Let's figure out which one of these two is actually the better sax. Like, better sax. Let's unbox it and find out. My wife got me a box cutter. Woo! Box cutter review time. The box cutter worked really well. Let's open this thing up. Sweetwater carries the Better Sax. Woo, Sweetwater. But this video is not sponsored by Better Sax in any way. Full transparency, I didn't buy this myself. I'm not really looking for a new saxophone. I mean, I've got my sweet $150 one. But I was curious what a YouTube saxophone looks like, so I reached out to Jay, and he was nice enough to send one my way. That's a lot of bubble wrap. Oh my gosh. That's some nice packaging. I'll say already, compared to the cheap saxophone, the presentation is much nicer. And the fact that they bubble wrap it means that it's probably gonna show up a little bit nicer too. Dang it. I can't get the box off. Box inside of a box. Ooh, that's like a deep bass. Look at that. Look at this box. Woo, that's fancy. Now I can raise my desk back up a little. Oh, I need my box cutter again. As you can see here on the tin, this is the Classic. The Classic is their cheapest model. They just came out with the Session, which I did have a chance to play for like a minute and a half at NAMM. And I liked the Session for the a minute and a half I got to play it, and it was also a crazy awesome color. But this one is the one that's geared towards students, or at least it's priced that way. So let's open it with my snail box cutter. So there's a few things I'm kind of excited about this. One of the things I'm excited about is the case, because cheapo cases from Amazon are usually terrible. It's my least favorite part of all of my cheap instruments is the terrible cases for all of them. So I'm hoping this one comes with a little nicer case. Justify that price difference. Case time. One more box down. Ooh. I think this is a nicer case. Oh my gosh, you serious? Oh, Jay, you're spoiling me. Holy cow. This bad boy has backpack straps. I can't even. And not only that, but I don't even have to attach them. They're just pre-attached. Guys, this is the difference here. This is that premium you're looking for. I should almost go compare the cases. If you want to see the other case, go look at my other alto sax video. This case is way better. I mean, it has backpack straps. Let's pull over here. I'll do something I haven't done for a while. And let's take a look at this backpack. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Look at that backpack. Oh my golly gee, it just looks so good. That guy right there is a first chair if I've ever seen one before. Woo, mama. Okay. Now, the back of this case, these straps aren't necessarily padded. I mean, maybe they are a little bit, but they're nice and wide. You might think like, oh, dude, the case, it doesn't matter, what the heck? But like, when you're carrying this thing back and forth from school every day, the case makes a big difference. Especially when you're a 5th grader and you're short and this thing's like half your size. Having something that makes it easier to carry to and from school every day is great. Maybe it'll make them actually take their instrument home for once. Look at the top. This guy here is also kind of nice. It has the same system as most other saxophones that I've looked at, in that it has like the little thing here with the zippers on the side. So we're not looking at metal clasps. I do like metal clasps, but when you're looking at a backpack bag, most of them are zippers. I think actually all of them are probably zippers. And I think I would actually take a backpack bag because it makes it so much easier to take to and from places like school. Before we look at the actual instrument, I gotta check the front pocket here. We gotta see what Jay's got in store for us. Maybe this is where they keep their white gloves. We've got, okay, so this is like the big strap that goes across it. This guy. You know, if you're using the backpack straps, you might not even need this one, which is kind of nice. I'm not even gonna put it on. I'm all excited about the backpack one. So I'm just gonna put it back in here. That's what we're looking like on the inside. Ooh la la. That is all we've got there. It's a nice pocket though, pretty good size. Put your reed case in there, easy. Another thing that looks kind of nice here real fast, I'll even come over here to show it. These are some like nicer, higher quality looking zippers, which is kind of cool. You wouldn't think that much about zippers, but I can tell you, I have had a lot of zippers break on me, like a lot. My tenor saxophone actually came with broken zippers, both of them. So having zippers that are like a little beefier and probably higher quality is great. Seem to work great. Throw this the right way here so y'all can see it. Here we go. Better sax, let's see what is a better sax. Is a better sax. Woo. All right, I've got another little Sweetwater guy in here. Wait for the sponsor, jeez. Oh, okay, so here's something I'm kind of excited about. We'll get to that in a second. We'll start with the non-super fancy stuff. So it comes with cork grease. Woohoo, cork grease. Premium cork grease by Super Slick. Super Slick's a brand I actually recognize. So it's not just like, you know, that's a real thing. Cool. It comes with a reed. And you know what? The reed's not on the mouthpiece, which I could appreciate. I like that a lot, actually. It's kind of weird that it comes with like one reed, kind of just like out and about, you know? Is this a better sax reed? It is a better sax reed. So here's something kind of fancy. Better Sax even creates their own reeds. So we'll try it. We'll see what this Better Sax reed is all about. I'd have to assume that Jay knows better than to have somebody test this reed on the saxophone and then just like throw it into the thing. So I'm gonna assume this is a brand new reed. I want to throw it in my mouth. Get ready to go. I don't think I've ever actually tested, like for real, a Better Saxophone reed. So this is a 2.5 jazz reed. Maybe I'm gonna sound really jazzy. All right, what we got here? Neck strap. Let's open it. I think it's a neck strap. So here's the neck strap that comes with it. It's got this kind of like little doohickey on the bottom there. I prefer neck straps that have like a clip that closes, especially for students. This one doesn't, as you can see here, but you'll also see that it's like super long and it like barely has an opening at the end. That's still gonna make it pretty safe. I'll test it out, we'll see. The other thing that's not really premium about this neck strap necessarily is that it is not really padded at the top. So I'm just kind of like putting this strap here. It's not a big deal if you have like a collared shirt or something, but this is gonna kind of wear eventually. I would say first thing, you may want to upgrade ye old neck strap. Thankfully, neck straps aren't that expensive and they last like forever. I can forgive for going like the cheapy route on the neck strap because it's very easily upgradable. And it will also do the job for a new student anyways. Now, quick little thing here. This is one of my favorite neck straps that I got from like a cheapo soprano sax. The cheapo soprano sax was like, I think a little over $100. I'll put it on the screen. But this was the neck strap that came with it. I love this thing. I love this neck strap. I don't know what the deal is with this bad boy, but like, God, it's so good. It's got like this, I don't know if it's pleather or leather or what, but like, it's just a really nice neck strap. And I can't imagine that they spent that much money on it because the saxophone was ridiculously cheap. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see more of this kind of thing out in the wild, saxophone manufacturers. And it has a clip. This is what I was talking about. Put it back on my soprano. Start going to read some more. Okay, what else we got here? We got, ooh, a cloth. This looks kind of fancy. Does it say Better Sax on it? It should. Ah, no Better Sax repage on this. It does feel nice though. So I gotta give it to you guys for the great feel of it. It feels good. That's not what it's for. And last thing, ooh, I get a bonus content. Woo! Thanks, Jay. I didn't buy it, but I appreciate it anyways. I got some free stuff for my free saxophone. Here's something I'm actually kind of excited about. This may actually be my nicest mouthpiece. We're gonna test it out, obviously, but I've heard good things about better sax mouthpieces. And one of the things that cheapo instruments do usually crimp out on is the mouthpiece, which is a shame because mouthpieces are actually really important. So if you have a bad mouthpiece, it can actually ruin the entire instrument. Them putting in one of their own mouthpieces, which are not like the cheapo ones, probably, is good. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's kind of fancy looking. I mean, it looks like a mouthpiece, but you know, it's got like a nice little Saxophone brand thing on there. Whee! Yeah. How's it feel? Actually comes with like a little tooth protector. I don't even usually use those, but if it's already on there, I'll use it, whatever. We'll do the old hand test here. Makes a sound. I haven't even put the ligature on yet. Makes a sound. Let's throw the ligature on. All right, so you got cover. This looks pretty standard, which is, I mean, what do you want? And then the ligature, which for me is not a very important part anyways. So yeah, I mean, it's going to ligature, I'm sure. See if we can actually get this reed in place. Make sure that the most important part of the horn is working. My Amazon one works fine, but we'll test it. We'll see. I will be using the same reed between the two horns. For now, we're gonna use the old better saxophone reed so I can feel jazzy. 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 So far, so good, Jay. All right. You dropped this. Thank you to our sponsor, the TMA2 Studio Wireless Plus headphones by III. So you've been using these headphones now to edit this video. What do you think, Chase? They work great, Chase. That's great, Chase. Not only do they sound great, but because of their W Plus link, there's basically no delay between what I'm hearing and what is actually happening. This allows me to use these for things that you normally wouldn't be able to with Bluetooth headphones, like playing the drum set, for example. My electronic drum set doesn't even have Bluetooth out because they realized that it would be too slow to actually play along with. That's not a problem with W Plus Link. I'm able to jam out on my set with no cords in my way, and the ultra low and uncompressed audio sounds fantastic. Something that's extra cool, the headphones themselves are actually modular. There's a switch right here to go between Bluetooth and the W Link. Yes, they also do Bluetooth. Do you maybe want to use them wired? You can, and you get the choice between either earbud to put the wire in. The TMA2 from III is available right now on Sweetwater. Head to sweetwater.com and look at all the different options for their modular headphones. So thanks again to III and Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Let's check out this alto. We'll start with the neck, start with tiny pieces, make our way up. See what color they sent me. It's some kind of a gold. Ooh, I would call this the standard color. God, look at that. That's just good looking. Jay, spoiling me. Look at this thing. You know, like normal neck, but there's just something nice about like, look at that little fancy little logo there. That's cool, man. It's a good looking contrast. Put the old chapstick on. Scooby-doo-doo, scooby-doo-doo, super slick chapstick, because I don't wanna break the cork. There we go. All right, big old reveal, then we can lose the case. Comes in like a little protective thing here. It's cool. Let's lose the case. You don't need to keep these guys. I usually say that. It's probably self-explanatory, but there you go. Whoa, that's good looking. Oh, it's got some heft to it. Maybe I'm just being crazy, but I'm gonna have to like hold this thing up against the other one. Now, I don't see any of those little Protecto pads that like push the things down. That's fine. The nice thing here is that means I can just start playing it. First thing, I went to I went to get this pinky and I like hit this guy, which means that we're probably not looking at the same exact setup at least as my other horn, because that's something I've never done before. So I'm not used to that pinky placement necessarily. I'm like jamming against the old bell here, right there. You know, the nice thing about that is it could actually help you to make sure that you're using the correct technique, because you just leave your finger there like you're supposed to. It won't matter. This thing is fine. Let's see what our little pad is here. Oop. So I wasn't sure what to expect here. You know, there's a lot of those saxophonists, especially the YouTube saxophonists out there, they give a hard time to those big floofy guys that come out. So this one does not have one of those little spit thingers, which is actually kind of interesting because I don't think I actually got a little pull-through swab. Let's look. Is this our pull-through swab? If this is our pull-through swab, I don't have anything to like pull it through. That's kind of interesting. I don't think I'm missing any fancy pockets anywhere. Since we're back in Case Town here for a second, let's look at the fit. A lot of the times you get those cheapo instruments and they like jiggle around in the case, which means that the case isn't really actually doing its job. This one looks like it's pretty dang well fitted to the instrument itself. If you look in there, looks like that. So let me set it in here. We're gonna see how much play we've got with the actual horn put in. Oh, it's pretty good, man. Try not to break it. That's good. Good job, Jay. Proud of you. Gotta make us YouTubers look good, Jay. So that when I come out with the bestest sax, I'm gonna put a swab in mine. Swabs are also not expensive, so let's test the neck out here. See how well it goes in. Good. Man, it's just like some little touches on this thing that make it really unique looking. So this thing over here is kind of interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before. This is actually just like this little triangle, which is kind of good looking. So a little different. Trigger's fine. You know, now that I think about it, instead of like having it sling across here and then come down, this one like immediately swings down, which is kind of nice because when you're putting it on, that means that you're probably less likely to bend this piece because it's so tiny. Like how the heck would you bend this? I can't tell you as a band director how many times I've had to bend this top octave piece back because a kid just kind of like jammed it with their hands when they were putting it on. That's a nice little touch. Very likely you won't have to adjust that as much because it should just stay where it is. Now maybe there's like some fancy sound reason that they do that, that's just like above my pay grade, but from the practical point, having it like this is nice because it should make it a little bit easier to put on, theoretically. So let's just look at the body here for a second. We've got that sweet Better Sax logo on there. Was on. It's already pretending to be better. We'll see. We'll see who's better. Might be that Amazon horn, I don't know. It's got the nice flower engravings that like 90% of saxophones have. There must be like some professional horn out there that's $80 million and they're like, oh, we're gonna put this little flower thing in there. And then all the other saxophones are like, okay, we'll do that too. Why not some flames? Put some flames on here. Aren't you guys the flaming mouthpiece people? Put some flames on there, Jay. Maybe they're saving it for me and my bestest horn, so I can have the bestest sax with flames on it. Before I do go and compare this thing to my like cheapo horn, let's just kind of look at what we're dealing with here. So the pads all look pretty nice. The springs are all working really good. It comes up, seems to have pretty nice action. I'm gonna have to like go back and forth between the two to really tell the difference. I'm kind of more just interested in how it feels and plays, to be honest. Now, before we play this thing, I do want to put its competition up here because I want to know what I'm trying to beat. So this right here is the Mendini alto saxophone. This is also not sponsored. I bought this one myself, which was a pretty easy buy because it was like a little over $100. Now, the thing is, this is not like a little over $100 horn typically. I just happened to get like a crazy deal on it because it's purple. So currently, the cheapest version of this on Amazon is $280 and it's green. Say what you will about my purple, I think it's actually probably better than the green version. I've actually kind of come to peace with the purple. I kind of like it. This is with the mouthpiece that came with it. It's not with the reeds that came with it. Little spoiler, if you do buy a new saxophone, get good reeds for it. Cheap reeds are probably the most terrible purchase you could make as a new player because they're not just bad, they're like really bad. But yeah, make sure you get a nicer reed. So this is a nicer reed on my 100 and whatever dollar horn, now 280. And let's see what a $280 horn sounds like. I haven't played this thing in a while. Now, first thing I want to do here, I gotta feel the weight difference between these two. I picked this up and I was like, whoa, it's kind of hefty. Let's see how it feels when I actually pick up my other one. I should maybe measure them. Oh, I have to get my scale. Something that they'll usually say about the cheapo saxophones is they use lighter metals, and those lighter metals are said to bend, and maybe that is actually the case. So we'll test this out. Maybe this is working with some chunkier metal in there that's gonna be less likely to bend. The Better Saxophone weighs just about 2,500 grams, and in comparison, my cheapo horn weighs about 2,550. So actually, my cheapo horn happens to be heavier than the Better Sax. Now, it's also not just about the weight of the instrument, it's about the hardness of the metal. Maybe it's a softer metal that's still heavy, but it's like not as hard as the metal of this one. And that's not something I can really test. That's gonna be a longevity thing anyways. We're just gonna have to see how this horn holds up in like a year or two to really truly compare it to this one now. So we're gonna do two things here quick. First, I wanna check the feel differences between the two horns. Like, how does this feel in comparison to the other one? I mean feel as in like feel, and also how does it feel to play it? And then after that, we're gonna check out the sound differences between the two. So first thing, I'm gonna lose this finally. The biggest difference I noticed straight away was that the thumb travels a lot further on my cheapo Amazon one, but then I also figured out that it's because on my cheapo Amazon one, it does not currently have anything right here to actually stop it from scraping metal on metal. I think I lost the little pad, which I didn't really notice. You hear that nice slap sound. Yeah, that's a bummer. One thing you can say about these cheap horns, and I have found this with other instruments, not typically my own, but now obviously, the little corks that they put on in all of the spots, they kind of fall off. And I don't know if it's just because the glue is bad or, oh my gosh, there it is right there. I found it. So it did have one right there. See it? What the heck, cheapo horn? You're making me look bad here. I was trying to show you up. Now, I have had this horn for like a year and some, so it's not like it's brand new or anything, but yeah, unfortunately, that's broke off, so I'm gonna have to glue that back on. Is that the biggest deal in the world? Not really, but the thing is, there's like a million of those things on a saxophone. If one of them falls off, that means a lot of them could probably fall off, which is a huge pain in the butt, and it can actually make some of the notes not work great. Like in this case, I'm pushing down harder here, which is going to be pushing up harder here, which could bend some things in other places. I mean, it's just one of those things that just shouldn't really be happening, especially in only a year. And I'm taking pretty good care of it. The other thing that you can even just kind of tell off first glance on these cheapo horns is that the corks that they do cut, they don't actually fit the spots very good. For example, the cut in between these two guys, not the best looking cut. So it just doesn't fit the thing fantastically. But they still work, so for like the 150 bucks I paid for it, like, who cares? Switch back over to the better sax horn here. How are the corks and the little things on this? Man, yeah, look at it. It's just better. So in comparison, that's what the thumb looks like on the better sax. Like, look at this little guy under here. Ooh la la. Stops it from, hitting metal against metal, which you want. And then this is the same piece on the other one, and this one's even more crazy. Those cuts are not only really small, but they're like perfectly shaped to the actual thing itself. Kind of crazy. Good job, Jay. Now again, as you look at these two pictures, remember that this is a year difference, a brand new versus a year and some old. But you can also see that the cork on that cheap one is just, I mean, it's not cut very good. And apparently it's not glued very good either because my thumb just came off. Now, as far as the feel is concerned, this feels good. I'll just say that straight out the box. The better sax feels nice. Not tight isn't the right word, but like, like the tolerances are tight. Like all the way through the horn, it feels consistent is probably a better word. It is consistent as you go up and down, which is a good feeling to have. The thing I will say though, going back to the cheapo, this actually feels okay too. It's maybe a little different. The left hand is like a little bit stronger than the right hand. It's a little easier for me to push the left hand than the right, so it's maybe not quite as consistent as the better sax. But for a beginner, I don't think that either one is a big enough difference for it to really matter. Essentially, don't worry about the feel for either one. You probably should worry about all those little corks coming off though. Now, let's jump over to playing. Before we get too crazy here, I'm gonna connect the old neck strap. Neck strap goes in easy, and we are gonna finally try this thing out. All right, see how it fits on there. Pretty good. This is probably the most expensive saxophone I've ever played, which goes to show you something, because $900 for a saxophone is not expensive. Some would say it's cheap, but then you look at this one and you're like, that's cheap. All right, man, let's do this. Golly, I'm like nervous. Man. All right, I don't want to give too much opinion on this thing yet after first play, but I got some opinions. The first thing I do need to check here quick is I need to check how much of this sound and feeling is being affected by this mouthpiece and the reed combo. The thing about my mouthpiece on the other horn is that it's using a bamboo reed. So I think that the reed here is actually, well, just give me a second. All right, this is my cheapo horn with the Better Sax reed and mouthpiece. No, come on, don't do this to me. No. Dang it. Oh, dang it, Jay. Let's jump into feel here for a second. Come on, I'm having a hard time on this thing today. Come on, Amazon horn. I'm keeping the same mouthpiece every time, which is a pain in the butt, but it's going to make it so that it's more fair. All right. I've played both now just to feel how it feels to play it. There's two big differences between the two. I didn't actually think they would be this different, to be completely honest, but they are. The first thing is I'm feeling on the Better Sax, I feel like it's a little bit easier to stay consistent with the tone. Like if I play a note and then I just try to keep it like flat, that's just easier to do. It could mean, to be honest, that mine is just leaking, like I need to get it repadded or something, and that goes to a whole nother point I'll talk about later. It just feels like every time I play just a note, it just locks into place a little bit more, which is kind of a big deal. Yeah, I mean, the notes just come out like they're supposed to. Now, the other thing I'll say, today I am having some huge issues on the other horn getting those bottom two notes out. So on the Better Sax, it's just easier. Now I got like the smallest, but a little bit of wobble, but I'm not a professional saxophone player. And that is also probably the hardest note on the horn. This horn is doing a great job. If anything, I can say that the packing and the adjustment that they did before sending it my way was very good. I don't know if that's like a Better Sax thing, or maybe that's like a Sweetwater thing and they test them all before they send them out. Either way, they did a fantastic job of sending this to me and making sure that it was all adjusted, ready to go, which is a huge deal if you are a fifth grader, because a fifth grader is not gonna know all those things. So if there is a problem with the horn, they're gonna think that it's them. So you want a horn that just kind of works out of the box. Now, if you check my other review of the Amazon horn, that one also just worked out of the box. What I'll say is that I think this one's doing a little bit better job of keeping that tone even versus the other horn. I think I have to work a little harder myself to do that. Let's test it again. Doing all the testing today. I need my neck strap back, Jay. We're getting picky, but I think that that's probably where the differences are gonna lie. Note to self, buy two of the same mouthpiece so I don't have to keep changing back and forth. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. And again, I can play that bottom note. It's easy, that was easy. God, it's not that easy on the other horn. That could just be me needing to replace my pads, but I've only had that thing for like a year, so I don't know. And I'm also not like a main on it, so most of that time has just been sitting on a stand. Now let's do everybody's favorite thing, and let's see if we can tell a difference between the sound. So. I'm going to put the answer to which saxophone is which saxophones in the comments, but I'm going to wait like a week or two to do so. So what I want you to do is I want you to go down to the comments and let me know which one you think was which one was better, which one did you like more, why do you think so? I'm gonna stick with this neck strap, I like it better. Sorry Jay, I don't like your neck strap as much. This is not the cheapo neck strap though, this is like a third-party one that I bought afterwards, a neoprene, I think. Oh, I'm wearing two neck straps, nice. I'm gonna be a double neck strap man. Okay, got thoughts. I don't like the neck strap. Starting out with some negatives, I don't like the neck strap, doesn't feel great. So if you're gonna get it, buy a new neck strap. It works, yes, but it doesn't feel nice. Second, where's my swab, Jay? Okay, that one's not really that big of a deal. And that's, oh my gosh, it fell out. See, neck strap. And that's about it for the negatives. I gotta say that this thing it has met my expectations and actually exceeded them. I'm gonna get on my high horse here for a second. $900 is not an insignificant amount of money. Now I'm taking this neck strap off. Now, when you're looking at saxophones, $900 is definitely not expensive by any means. This is actually one of the cheaper saxophones out there. It just so happens to not hang with the cheapo Amazon horns, which are kind of their own level of, you know, cheap. But to get this horn back out here for a second, those things that I did talk about were like the cork on the back of my thumb was falling off and it having some adjustments that are needed on the bottom because those bottom notes are really hard to play now. The thing is, good luck finding a shop that will actually fix this thing. The moment you start repairing this stuff, you gotta think to yourself, should I have just spent a little bit more money up front to have a horn that might not need a repair later, because repairs aren't cheap. What I will say in the pros of this horn, it was, when I got it, a little over $100. Now, if it would have continued to be a little over $100, I could have just bought a new one of these every single year, and I could have had like 6 saxophones to Jay's 1. That is a pretty big difference. But now, these things are looking to be like $350, and then the comparison kind of runs out the window a little bit because these things really aren't that repairable, and you're not really gonna wanna buy a new saxophone every year because they're not that cheap anymore. I think that's where the better sax kind of finds its stride. It's not really trying to compete with these because these are kind of a class in its own. If all you can afford is like a couple $100 saxophone off of Amazon, because let's say you just want to try it out for fun, then yeah, I think the Amazon saxophones are gonna work great. Mine lasted an entire year of me playing it in my school, and I had no issues with it until now. According to Jay, this thing is trying to compete with the Yamahas of the world that are like putting out multi-$1,000 saxophones for students now. And of course, I'm gonna have to re-look at this thing in like a year or two to see if it holds up. But first impressions here, it's pretty good. So is there a world out there where you wanna spend $3,000 on a Yamaha student saxophone? I don't know. Honestly, I think I would just get this thing. And if you do got $3,000 to burn, just keep saving and then end up getting one of those really professional, nice ones, because it's not gonna be that much more expensive. But I guess what I will say is the YouTuber saxophone, I think it holds up. Yes, even though Jay is a YouTuber, he's also a professional saxophone player. And it turns out he actually must have done his research on how to build one of these things. So thank you, Jay and Better Sax, for sending this my way. Had a great time talking to you guys at NAMM. Thank you again to my patron of the arts for helping support the channel. Jump on over to my Patreon if you want to see some extra stuff. And if you just want to support, you know, whatever this channel is. Thank you again to III and Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. If you liked this video, go and check out one of these. I'll put the other saxophone up here too so you can see that one. Gotta play the battle sax. Beautiful, sweet baby.